Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good afternoon. Welcome also to a new live talk on Facebook. I'm really honored to host today our 2013 JCI World President. She's from Italy, working as an anchor woman in TV shows and also as a chief editor for a magazine. A warm welcome to Chiara Milani. Thank you so much. Buongiorno, come stai?
Merci beaucoup. Thanks so much for the invitation. Buongiorno. Greetings from Italy. Well, this is my 11th weekend at home in lockdown. So it's a very special moment, let's say, but I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Parla un po' italiano. I want to thank you a lot for accepting my invitation. Grazie per aver accettato il mio invito. It's a big honor for me. Today we will speak about something very special, especially for girls watching us, actually for in JCI or whatever, about women in leadership. But before starting, I want to present all my condolences, all my support to Italian people. What happened is a big dramatic thing, and we are really sad to hear that. And now, what are things, or how are things going on in Italy?
Well, first of all, grazie mille. Your Italian for sure is much better than my and probably also of my English. But yes, this is a challenging moment for our country. For sure, we are watching news on TV, on the social media, wherever. And I can tell you in the last days, it seems that the situation is getting better, likely. So we have more people who contracted the virus in the last weeks who are now healthy. It seems the contagion is slowly going down, but please consider on May the 4th, so just on Monday, we will start the so-called phase 2. So we don't know what can happen because some activities, not all of them, will open again. Schools will remain closed, but some activities, some kind of shops will open again, some industries. And so we must understand what will happen when we start opening again our activities.
Yeah, same case here in Tunisia. We'll be back to work on Monday, slowly. We'll stay careful about what happened because it's a special period. What kind of lessons as a leader you learned from this previous period, which is very special, especially for Italy and Spain?
Yes, you know, in 2013, while I was traveling around the world to serve as JCI President, I was talking about individual social responsibility because, of course, corporate social responsibility is crucial for our future. But I was used to say, without individual social responsibility, we can't overcome big issues such as environmental issues or gender issues, just to talk about something. It's close to our heart always, and especially today. And COVID-19 is exactly this kind of issue. Without individual social responsibility, we can't overcome it. We are really all together in this, like JCI teaches us, because each of us can stop the contagion with her or his own behaviors, or can allow to the contagion to go on. So I believe this is something we should keep in mind also after the virus, you know, after the pandemic. Each of us must be responsible. We can't just pretend that leaders save us from everything. You know, they must do their part, their role. This is vital, but we are all leaders.
Yeah, the question is that we are talking about women in leadership, and what kind of roles or leadership roles can play women in this crisis period, especially in the families and society, for companies, and even for the governments?
Yes, first of all, just a few days ago, I was reading a very interesting piece of news on Il Sole 24 Ore, which is our most important economic newspaper. And there was an analysis regarding the fact that in the special task called from the government, by the government, to create the rules which are needed for phase 2, there are no women. We have 20 outstanding leaders, but they are all men. And this is not because our government wanted to call just men, but because they call the leaders of the institutions involved in this phase 2, and all the leaders are men. Despite this, according to the World Health Organization, more than the half among doctors and nurses are women. So once again, in the key
women saves us. Yeah.
Yes, in the key position, we just have men, not wherever in the world, but in countries such as mine. But more than a half of doctors and nurses in the world are women. This has some consequences because, the ones who are a bit forgotten in this phase 2 in our country are children and women.
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned, schools will remain closed, such as kindergarten. But women, at least some of them, are supposed to go back to work. How can they do it if they have to take care about the children?
Yeah, it's a double role.
Sometimes if you don't know very well the situation because you live a different reality, it's tough to put into someone else's shoes. So sometimes for men, not because they don't want, but they simply don't see everything we see, as well as we can't see everything men can see. That's why we need a sort of gender balance, because we are half of the apple, and that's the truth. So we need both of them. Of course, during these weeks, months of lockdown, every woman had to find the courage, not just for herself, but for the entire family. Because you can imagine what means for children staying at home 2 months without meeting any other child.
Of course, social relationships.
School. It's tough. So some of them who are the luckiest ones, such as me, can work by home. So I'm doing smart working. But of course, while you're doing smart working, you have to take care both of your family and of your work. It means you work 24/7, and probably you face challenging both in leading your family and leading your job. So it's a very tough moment, but it's a moment in which really women are playing a crucial role, also in teaching to children, but also to the parents how to behave, how to protect themselves, because we know the old people are the ones who are suffering the most because of this virus. So very often women have to take care also of the old parents. I'm not saying men are doing anything, please. We are really together in this. I'm just saying that very often most of the responsibility is on the shoulders of women when we are talking about educating the family members. Furthermore, if you have to choose in a couple which of the two must stay at home to take care of the children while schools are closed, and which one should go to work, very often, if both of them have the opportunity to go, you choose the one who is earning the most.
Yeah, I see. And
often men are the ones.
I want to say something. I want to say hi to all men and women watching us naturally, and the JCI World President for 2020, Itai, is watching us. Thank you for joining. And he told you, bravo, President Chiara Milani. We have a lot of people from all over the world. Thank you for joining us. I want to say something, Chiara, because you know that you are, and you got the chance as women to have the multitasking skill, or you or man are just monotasking. So I can understand what you said. that's an argument for men now. But I can understand what you said, because it's a big responsibility for women actually. Let's move to leadership, because leadership is something like a concept that people are asking themselves. Is it something natural, or it can be taught? We born leader, or we can learn to be a leader? This is a big question.
Okay. Well, first of all, my greetings to President Itai, who is watching us, because I know what it means to serve as JCI President. Yeah. You are actually very busy, so really thank you for the efforts. I usually speak frankly, so I will keep on doing it.
Yeah,
I believe each better. You know, be better is the JCI corporate slogan, and I do truly believe each of us can be better. Of course, we start from different points. What does it mean? When you have a raw stones, you can work on it to make it shine, okay? If you have a ruby and you work on it and it's a raw stone, it will shine red. It will be a wonderful ruby with a red light. If you have an emerald, you will have green light.
Yeah.
If you will have a sapphire, you will have a light blue light. If you will have a diamond, you will have all the colors. So depends. Each of us can be better. Of course, some of us are born rubies, some others emeralds, some others diamonds. You know, so we have different starting points. But we can all be better, and we can all learn some skills which allows us to face the leadership challenges, because every leader has challenges, you know. I remember a former president of the Italian industrials who was used to say, a leader by night is alone with his or her thoughts. Nobody knows what it means to have the responsibility of plenty of people. This is the reason why I try not to criticize too much leaders. I prefer to suggest, you know, to share thoughts, because I know how tough it is. Of course, we must share our thoughts, but also with respect. The important thing is to know who you should call when you wake up in the morning. Then you are a lucky leader.
Which kind of skills do we have to learn to be a leader?
Again, it depends, leader of which kind of organization, reality. But I believe more or less all leaders should be able to inspire, to motivate, should have empathy. It's not easy to learn empathy, but we can work on it. Nowadays, more than ever, it's not because it's my job and your job, but communication is the key, you know?
Yeah.
I was interviewing for my TV show our 2015 president, Ismail Hasnedar from Turkey, days ago, exactly. And he was confirming me nowadays, talking about companies. So business leaders, communication is one of the two key factors, because you must be able to communicate with your clients. You must be able to communicate with your employees, with your partners in such a crucial moment of the world history, because we cannot communicate face to face, we cannot touch each other. So also the rules of our communication are completely changing. Talking to a machine like a laptop or a smartphone is absolutely not the same that watching into each other's eyes. So this is something we should improve during this moment, because when the pandemic will be over or at least contained, we will have a new world, a new normality. Of course, I do honestly hope we will have back some human contacts.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, for sure, all the technological communication that we are improving in these days will be there. So still we have to find a balance also for these, and so it will be important to be able to communicate.
Yeah, I wanna just mention some comments. Mariam said, I totally agree with you, Chiara. Every leader should be able to inspire, to influence, and to guide the community to which he or she belongs. Also, we have Nesrina. Hello, everyone. Welcome, President Chiara. Thank you for this event. We have Gianna Schumacher. You are right, dear Chiara. You have a lot of women here supporting you, Lady Chiara. So let's move to another point, which is very important. We talked about leadership, but I want to talk also about women leadership. We met first time in the JCI World Congress for 2009 in Hammamet, and you were there in the Italian delegation. I want to ask you, because you were the JCI World President, but I think there is a big moment when the leader chose to move forward and to go ahead for a leadership position. When it happened for you?
Okay. Well, first of all, you mentioned a couple of friends. I guess we are talking about two JCI leaders, our 2020 European EVP and a former director of the European know-how transfer. So they know very well what I'm talking about. Regarding me in 2009, unforgettable, Hammamet, I was serving as national president.
Yeah.
And that was already very special because actually before me, just few women served as national president in JCI Italy. And even more, I can tell you, I am the sister of a former JCI Italy national president.
Okay.
And it never happened in our history, before or later my presidency, that a sister became national president few years after his brother. So I was not supposed to become national president. I was involved in the national board, although my brother is not exactly the one who recruited me. And I was working, serving at my best without any ambition, because I knew it was not possible for me. You know, I was a woman, I was the sister of a president, so I was just doing my best. And I remember in 2008, I actually got married in June.
Yeah.
And a few weeks later, my friends of JCI Italy not just asked me to run as national president, but many of them told me, we will be there only if you will be there. Because it's not fair that you cannot run just because you are the sister of a former president. So they gave me the courage, you know, the strength, actually, to stand as candidate as national president. And again, I was serving at best of my ability. It was an incredible year. We faced also that year challenges in our countries because we had an earthquake. So it was not an easy year for the country. Nevertheless, we were able to open 5 new local organizations, which were really plenty for JCI Italy, and we had an outstanding team. I always say it was not because of me, but it was really because of an outstanding team. And before me, the last vice president of JCI, Coni, elected 15 years before. So it was not even possible for me to think to run. And also we have the language barrier.
Yeah, of course.
In Italy. So none of the language of JCI is Italian. So I was not really thinking about it. Actually, once again, I was asked to run. That's the truth. It was not my idea. I was asked to run by fellow national presidents and other friends who asked me, why don't you run as VP? And at the beginning, I was laughing, you know, smiling. Well, thank you. I thought they were joking, actually.
Mm.
But after one, after another, when they became plenty, I started thinking maybe I could really do it. So I remember I called the national board member. I asked them, "Do you think if I run, should I do it or not?" And altogether, we took the decision. They told me, "It's your life. So honestly, you must understand if you can also carry these responsibilities, considering I was the vice director of the news in the TV and
Of
just
course.
married." So they told me, "If you think you can do it, we are with." And so I did it. And I thought that was over the top, you know. It was the dream I could not even achieve to become vice president. But then, well, let's say I had a long way in front of me, although I didn't know it yet.
Mm. How Rudy's react, your husband, when you announced that you will be candidate for a VP or other positions for JCI?
Rudy's husband, just
Yeah.
for the ones who don't know it, and he is also a JCI.
Ah, okay, nice.
He became senator after me, by the way.
Mm.
Well, my husband is also a leader.
Mm.
He is the president of the traders in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about thousands of people. He is the board member of the executive committee of the Chamber of Commerce in Varese province. So he perfectly knows what it means to carry the responsibilities of a president.
Yeah.
I never asked him not to run for any position, and he never asked me not to run for any position. We try to support each other, knowing that in some moments one of the two have more time, and in other moments the other one have. But you know, when we got married, the price told us, "Now you will be like an angel with two wings, but one each. So
Okay.
any of you can really fly without the other."
But you believe that in a couple, we have to create like balance and to support each other, because women can't go ahead for a leadership position if maybe the husband or the mate will not support her. And same
Again,
case for the
supporting each other is crucial.
Yeah.
I cannot hear you very well in this moment, so maybe I didn't get precisely the question, but I believe supporting each other is the key. It's challenging, I can assure you, also for men to run for whatever position without the support of women. You know, don't think that it's easy for a man to run for president, vice president, whatever, if the wife or the partner of his life doesn't agree. It's not possible. So it's the same for each of us.
Yes. So for JCI, for example, or even for your job as an anchorwoman in TV and also chief editor, what are the challenges that you faced to move forward for a leadership position? Maybe the reaction of people and how to convince people to follow you as a woman. Even you are in a European country, so the people are a little bit open-minded, maybe comparing to other countries.
Again, I hope you can listen to me very well, because here the signal is not so good, so I can't exactly catch each and every word, but it's not easy to balance your life. When I'm talking about balancing your life, I'm talking about your business life, your family life, and your social life. And let's say JCI could be part of the social life.
Yeah.
It's like the three pillars of the community of the JCI Active Citizen Framework. You know, you need the cooperation of government, business sector, and civil society to realize sustainable solutions. And it's the same in your life. You need to keep the balance among the pillars of your life. Of course, in some moments, one of the three can fall down. Let's suppose now, with this pandemic, there's a huge economic crisis. So many of us are facing economic challenges.
Yeah.
But if you have the other two pillars, family, you have a good social life, then anyway you can stand. If also another one of the pillar falls down, you still have, but with one it's more difficult to be stable. You know, it's like a tripod. You need actually 3 legs, and if one falls down, at least you have 2 legs to stand. So it's not easy to keep the balance, but it's vital. But I can assure you that the busiest people I know are the best leaders in whatever organization they are leading, because when you are busy, you know the value of time, you don't lose time, and you don't ask the others to lose time. You know how to manage your time, and of course to manage your stress. These are also very important skills, both for a leader in a normal situation than in a challenging situation such as the one we are facing during these days. So it's vital to be able to keep the balance among the 3 pillars, knowing that probably in some moment you have to push more on one of them and another moment on the other of them, but keep the balance. And if you are doing so, if you are making sacrifices, if you are really leading by example, people will follow you.
Yeah,
we all feel when a leader in front of us is true or is just playing a part.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Know who follow.
I want to ask you, because you spoke about stress management in this period. How Chiara Milani, with the big responsibilities for professional side, also for the organization, can manage her stress now during this pandemic period or duration?
Okay, again, I can't catch each and every of your words, but I hope I understood the overall meaning of your question. I always say that after serving as JCI president, whatever else, it's just affordable. I remember when I was pregnant, many of my friends who are ladies told me, oh, you can't imagine how stressful it will be to have now also a baby, be so busy as you are. Well, I can do this. I'm not telling you, or it's the easiest thing on earth, but the baby just asks for love. That's all. While when you serve in certain positions, you have to face many, many challenges. In particular, serving as JCI president, usually, unfortunately, not this year for President Italia, sorry because of this, but usually you also travel a lot. Every 3 days, you change people, food,
climate,
hair, weather, whatever.
Yeah.
So you must be able really to manage your energies, your stress, everything. So after going through such an experience, whatever else, it's something that you can face. Even think, you come back home and you speak your language with people with your same background. And this is so easy after having traveled all around the world, meeting people with different backgrounds and speaking different languages, believe me.
Yeah, I can understand that. So when we talk about women, I don't know if you are hearing me correctly, actually. Is it okay? Nice. So when we talk about women, we have... yeah. So I will try to repeat my question. What do women have to confirm? Because I saw that a lot of women, especially in Africa and maybe in Arab world are making a lot of efforts to.
Sorry.
So it's okay now? Is it okay?
So it's really a question of signal, but let's try.
Yeah, let's try. Thank you. So women in Arab world, or maybe in Africa, in other countries, maybe in Asia, are trying a lot to confirm themselves. We have, for me, for example, I don't believe on what we call the Women Day, because I believe that the women don't have to confirm themselves just for one day a year. So why women cannot really move forward and confirm themselves? Even I worked a lot with women in some projects, and maybe the best project that I did with women maturity team. So it was a great experience. I don't think that women have to confirm themselves a lot and to like reclaim their rights every day. What do you think about that?
Again, of course, one day is not enough, as well as the quotes. So 1% that you try to fix in every, as example, board of directors. Let's suppose we say we need at least 20% or 50% who are women. Okay, all these rules are not exactly the best solution. Said so, sometimes you have to start from somewhere. I agree with you. We should not talk about women's strength and challenges just during International Women's Day. But the truth is that very often we talk about it just on International Women's Day. And if there was not the International Women's Day, maybe in many countries and in many communities, people would never talk about these topics. The same is, it's not correct as a general rule to impose a minimum quantity of women in certain realities, in companies, in NGOs, because we must see who are the best ones, and the best ones could be all women or all men or half and half, or the percentage can change. At the same time, very often if you don't start in this way, you never break certain rules. So again, very often certain solutions are not the best as an absolute rule, but they are a way to move something. And we need to move forward, because women empowerment is also a matter not just of human rights, although when we talk about human rights, we should not say just, but also if you think about this pandemic and economic consequences, it's also a matter of economic sustainability. Because if more than the half of the population of the earth cannot work, we have also an economic challenge. So I do understand in some countries the situation is different, traditions are different because of many reasons, cultural reasons, religion, historical backgrounds, and so on. But I believe it's important to understand that it's in the interest of both gender to work together. Only together, really, we can achieve results which are important for all of us. But I do honestly believe that wherever in the world where I traveled, I met young men who really are making the difference regarding this. I'm thinking also regarding our immediate past president, Alexander Theo. I remember he was a national president while I was serving as JCI president. He was the national president of JCI Indonesia. And I remember when he was running as candidate, I asked him, Mr. Candidate, if elected, which will be your color? In the last years, every JCI president as a color, which is the color of the T-shirts, of the international board, or of the ties, the scarf. So I asked him which will be, and he replied me, well, usually the apple never falls far from the tree. And actually, he decided to ask women to wear blue, like I'm doing now, and to ask men to wear pink, which was the 2013 color, a strong pink fuchsia, let's say. So, that was an important signal coming from a man from Asia, wearing always this pink tie. And so things are changing. Of course, we need time. We are Italians, we say Rome wasn't built in one day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
we know it.
As a neighbor, I know what is Rome. So yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I want to ask you about some habits, because Stephen Covey wrote in his book 7 habits that effective people have same habits or common habits. What kind of habits or good habits do you have as a leader that you can suggest to us?
I believe discipline is the key. There are wonderful pictures that are going around also on social media, showing a beautiful lady which is dancing, and they say you can see her grace, you can see her smile, you cannot see her feet.
Yeah.
Discipline is really the key. There are plenty of sacrifice to face as leader, and you cannot complain regarding them. You cannot put all the weight on the shoulders of others. You must keep on dancing with your feet that are hurting you, but keeping the smile. This is important. It's not a question of being false, but of transmitting a positive attitude, optimism. Like in this moment, it's very important. If the head of your state is under panic, if he is desperate, the entire population is desperate and under panic. And in JCI, we are serving as if we are head of state. When you have the responsibility of 120 countries on earth, for sure you face many challenges, but you must be disciplined, which means also to go to bed not too late, to avoid the drinking. Sometimes there are plenty of things that are very nice in life, and there are moments in which you can enjoy them. But also there are moments in which you must be disciplined, because especially if you travel a lot, your body doesn't have the time to recover. And so, you must keep healthy, and don't eat too much, don't eat too few. A series of little rules, which we could summarize into discipline.
Learning new languages, especially English, because it's a worldwide language, is it very important for a women leader?
I believe for everybody.
Yeah.
Nowadays, English is the language used by the majority of the world to communicate. Something curious, when I was candidate as president, I remember in Taiwan, Taipei, I was in front of 120 national presidents, incoming national presidents, and I asked them, how many of you are English mother tongue? Just 10 of them raised their hands. Because if you think also about Africa, from where you come from, even the English-speaking Africa, they are not exactly mother tongue. They have their dialects. And then, of course, because of the history that we all know, they also speak English, which is something different from being exactly English mother tongue. So what I mean is that very often we are a bit scary of speaking or shy of speaking, because we know we do mistakes. Also now, I know
Yeah.
I'm saying
Me too.
plenty of
Me too.
mistakes. You know, it's not your language, it's not my language, but I believe at least we can communicate to
We're
each other,
trying.
and
We're
I
trying.
hope, you know, also the others can at least understand us. I can assure you, wherever in the world I traveled, people understood me, and I understood them. Of course, maybe my English is not so perfect, but also because I speak slowlier than a mother tongue, and because just 10 out 120 are English mother tongue. At the end of the day, everybody maybe sometimes like the fact that you are speaking not so fast, because it's easier to understand. So I believe it's important. It's an important skill, but we must not be too much worried about the quality of our English. What is important, is to communicate. You know very well, just 7% of communication is what you say. 93% is how you say it. We are Italians, we use our hands
the body language,
as you can see, you know, and it's part of the body language. So don't be worried about the language, learn it, but don't be worried about it.
I have a comment here from Fares Ben from Tunisia. In countries where women are not really playing a key role, many women have potential, but they are demotivated, thinking they will not be able to achieve their goals. How can we motivate them to go ahead in leadership journey?
Well, while I was serving as president, I'm talking about myself, not because I believe I'm the most important of the earth. No, but just because, I mean, in this way, I don't violate the privacy of anyone else, you know. Actually, maybe also because I'm a woman, plenty of people and of women shared with me their thoughts, sometimes their secrets, but I keep them, okay? So I'm talking about myself because of this reason. Italy is not exactly a word example of gender equality, you know? It is not exactly. So I remember very often while traveling around the world, and I was introduced as the first European woman serving as JCI president, people thought I was coming from Germany or from Scandinavia. I mean, from other parts of Europe, where actually there's more gender equity. But I was coming from Little Italy. What I mean is that it's up to us. Of course, I'm not telling you it's easy. I don't lie to you. I'm not telling you it's easy. I told you before, you need discipline. You need to ask a lot to yourself. But it's possible. And this is the thing. Maybe you will just have one chance, but you will have that chance. And you must grab it and do the best out of it. When I decided to run as president, and again, I was asked to run as president, it was completely not possible for me even to think about it. I remember once someone asked me, would you like to serve as president? And I remember I showed him the moon, and I asked him, would you like to touch the moon with your finger? I guess you wish, but you know the moon is there, your finger is here, and you can't touch it. So don't ask me if I wish to serve as JCI president, because I'm a lady. I'm younger than the average of JCI president. I come from Little Italy, which also don't have the same number of members, of course, of other countries, national organizations. So this is really the dream I could not dream. And I remember when I was elected, that gentleman wrote me a nice message by saying, you're right, a man cannot touch the moon with his finger, but sometimes a woman can.
And you did it. Chiara, you talked about a chance. What is chance for you? What is the meaning of the chance? Because I want to say that you are a lucky person. I can say that. So you are JCI president. You are a lucky person. So how can I get the chance like you? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a mix of things. Part of it is what happens, and it's not up to us. You can call it fate, destiny, or luck, or however you want. Part of it, you build it. So I always suggest do the best that you can without expecting anything. Really, I was not ambitious. I didn't have the ambition to serve as national president, vice president, executive vice president, or president. I just did my best in whatever position, always thinking this will be my very last chance to serve in this organization. I want to do my best. And when the opportunity to run as president arrived, it was not an easy choice for me because, as you mentioned, I'm married. I was the vice director of the TV news. My life was full enough. And it was not easy for 1 year to leave whatever I built, whatever I loved, to serve as JCI president. And of course, I was married since 2008. It was already 2012. Keep on postponing a eventual pregnancy. It was not an easy choice. Also because women also have this choice to do sometimes, to postpone a pregnancy, which is a huge thing. Honestly, for a man, it's different. Of course, you can support your wife, your partner in having a baby, but physically, it's not the same. Okay, you cannot travel all around the world while pregnant. It's quite challenging. So because of this, it was not an easy choice. But I thought, if I have the chance to do it, so if all the stars in the sky are aligned for this thing, I don't have just the opportunity to do it. I have the responsibility to do it for all the ladies on earth and all the leaders who are serving in small national organizations who will never have this opportunity. If I have it, I have the responsibility also to carry it. And that's why I decided to run, not just for myself, because again, my life was already lucky enough anyway, but because I felt the responsibility. So we cannot decide everything. Something is not in our hands, but we must do whatever is in our hands to make our best. And that, I believe, what is chance.
Many girls are watching us and they are dreaming to be JCI president like you, Chiara. Katia Camino from JCI Brazil say Chiara Milani is great. Amal Lahmila asked a question that I asked. It was in one of my questions. What challenges did you encounter as a woman leader, misogyny, and how did you face them? Would you like to answer?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, of course. I will not tell you that everything was easy, because of course it was not. And I will not tell you I didn't face misogyny. But I can tell you this. By the way, I chaired the World Congress in Brazil, and even as EVP, I chaired the Conference of the Americas in Brazil, because I was the first European woman assigned to the Americas. So, special greetings to our Brazilian friends. So I cannot tell you I didn't face this sort of challenges, but I can tell you this. I didn't find them in countries where I was more supposed to find them because of cultural, religion, historical backgrounds, and many other reasons. I faced them where I didn't expect them. So sometimes don't think that in some countries you face more this kind of challenges, in some other less. It's not exactly so. It's all about people.
I see. Yeah.
People make the difference. Human beings, each and every human beings make the difference. Actually, I still have plenty of friends in JCI who are male, because the majority of our presidents, as you know, are men, and also as EVP or executive committee members and so on, because also we have plenty of male members, and because of history and all the reasons we mentioned before, among them pregnancy and the challenging of balancing family work and JCI activity. So there are plenty of reasons. It's not just one reason, but they always tell me, they don't speak to me like they should do to a lady. We speak very frankly, and sometimes they tell me, we laugh about it, well, we forget you are a woman. And sometimes I tell them, well, but at the end of the day, I am. But they tell me, yes, but we look at you like we look to other leaders. So it's also up to you. Frankly speaking, again, if you wish, as a woman, you can find some short track. That's the truth. That's life, wherever in the world, since always.
But it's a choice, Chiara. It's a choice.
Thank you. It's a matter of choice. Life is a matter of choice.
Yeah.
I always decide to remain feminine. I didn't cut my hair. I'm still wearing my high heels. I was wearing a skirt, but not short skirt. Skirt.
Yeah, to keep running.
Yeah, you understand? I mean, elegant dresses, yes. Sexy, no. It was a choice, again. It's up to you. You want to play fair, or you want to find a short track?
Being sexy is an obstacle for you to make a leadership journey?
The point is, I will tell you what my first boss told me when I was 18 years old. I was still going to school, and I went to the newspaper. I was wearing a skirt, not a short one. Again, the length was my knee. And he told me, you are young, quite pretty. If you will dress differently, if they will look at your leg before looking at your face, you will have information for your news, but you will not have their respect.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, okay? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We can talk about the fact that a lady can be sexy, and anyway, it's an outstanding leader. I'm not talking about that. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's part of the human reaction. In this moment of our history, maybe in a decade, 2 decades, it will be different, okay? It's changing also this. But in this moment, again, I always wear feminine dresses, I believe. So I'm not asking to ladies to be something different. If we act like men, we will always be a man minus something, because we are not men. We don't act like men. We don't think like men. We don't hug like men.
Yeah.
We are really different. So I'm not saying we must try to be like men. We should remain what we are. And there are ladies who are more feminine and ladies who are less feminine, naturally. Remain what you are, but always decide if you want to take a short track or you want to go through the most challenging road, but very often is the road that conducts farther. And that's really, really up to you.
Last question from Firas: which is more impactful president, serving as local president or international president? I think that you have the habit to get this kind of question.
Yeah. Well, again, what would you like that I tell you? A polite answer? The polite answer is that all our strength is in the local community.
Yeah.
But again, I always speak frankly. And I was used to do it also as president. I believe each and every level is important. JCI is a unique organization because it is local, national, and international. Yeah. As journalists, part of my work is to interview leaders. And I can assure you, just in my own province, we have 3,000 organizations, cultural one, social one, healthy one, whatever kind of organization. But none of them provides the same opportunities at local, national, international level for young leaders, active citizens between 18 and 40 years old. So honestly, the greatness of our organization is also that it is at all levels. So I do truly believe, honestly, that local leaders are absolutely important. They are the key, to implement impactful projects in their communities. But I also do believe national presidents are important because there are challenges, issues that must be faced not just at local level, and also the international officers are, because honestly we are an international network.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned before, the question is always, will they follow you? If as president, international president, national president, local president, you're not able to inspire the others, they will not follow you. So I always consider myself a member before then someone who served as president. And when I look at our incumbent president in whatever year, I always wonder, is this my leader? And the answer must be yes.
Yeah.
If not, Houston, we have a problem. And this is the same at all levels, local, national, or international. So I believe all the three levels are very important, honestly.
Yeah, it's very important. I told too many times to people in JCI Tunisia that we are international organization, and due to JCI, I know you, and we are friends. And
Exactly.
I'm really happy and honored because I told to JCI members that JCI President are members of JCI, and they are really humble. I hosted Lars Hasland first time. I hosted also Roland Quiman. You are the third JCI President. On Monday, I will host Scott Greenlee. It will be also nice to talk to him. I will host Felipe Carrera from Portugal on Wednesday. Ismail Hazandar also. And you remind me something that Ismail told me when he was JCI President. He told me, we are friends, Fares. I am JCI member like you, but this year I am just a member with a special mission, which is JCI President. And this is really amazing.
Yeah, you all mentioned people who are my close friends.
Yeah.
And that's part of the beauty of this organization, that we have close friends wherever in the world, especially now while we are locked down, facing this huge challenge, which is the pandemic. Such a great thing to have the opportunity to meet people from all over the world, although so far just through a camera. But anyway, today I'm in Tunisia with you. Last week I was in India for a online lesson, and I will be in Nepal next week, where they already invited me, and on. So somehow I'm still traveling around the world and inviting in my TV show also outstanding leaders from all over the world, which are telling me how they're facing the pandemic in their country, but more than anything else, resilience ideas. So not just how we can face it, overcome it, but also be better after it. This is, in this moment, the task of everybody, men and women.
Last word for you, Lady Chiara. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to host you. It was very inspiring. A lot of people are giving a compliment for you, like Nizar. Happy to see our best coach, our friend, also Chiara. Umayma also said that she was inspired by you. You are a model for people. So last word for you. The stage is yours. Thank you again, and grazie mille, Chiara.
Once again, merci. Thank you to you for inviting me, and to all the ones who took time to attend this live session. I know anyway all busy, even if we are doing smart working. So really thank you, and also different time zones. So I do really appreciate it. I always say it's not easy for a woman talking about gender empowerment, women empowerment, because you risk to seem either a crying girl or a fanatic extremist. But when I was elected president, a wise predecessor of mine told me, it's true, Chiara, it's tough, especially for a woman talking about women empowerment, but if not you, who? And if not now, when? So sometimes you must take also this responsibility in your community. It doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman to talk about it. And I do especially appreciate, Fares, the fact that this invitation comes from you, because I do really believe, really only together we can do it. Usually women are talking about women in leadership just among women. And it doesn't work in this way. It's important to do it. I'm glad always to take part to seminars regarding women in leadership, but I always ask, if possible, to involve also men, because only together we can build the new normality after COVID-19. And I do truly believe that women empowerment should be part of it. So thank you in advance, because I know that if you took time for this session, you will be ambassador of this message in your country. So really thank you. And as we say in JCI, I hope to see you soon somewhere in the world.
Thank you so much. Ciao, Chiara. I want to remind to all people that we will have a great appointment also on Saturday with my mentor, JCI Senator and ITF, Marc de Tienne from JCI Belgium. We will talk about mentorship, which is a philosophy of life. Thank you again. And as you said also in Italy, ciao, bye-bye.
Ciao, 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 bye.